Oh shit, that works like that? Oh my god. Hey guys. I didn't even know that's how that even went on. What's up guys? I'm doing updates and I'm just kind of taking a little break and I'm gonna do a live Q&A, just open questions, whatever you guys want. Let's talk, let's chat. Let's chat anything, current situations, training, um, anything you guys want. I'll give you unedited answers. That helps out. So I'll wait for you guys to kind of get in there. What's up, buddy? Well, let's chat about boxing some of these days, cause yeah, yeah. And I'm not. Yeah, how did you? Well, you can go like there's some like pretty good. What up, Lewis? There's some pretty good calorie calculators online that'll kind of give you an idea. I give you like an idea, like a rule. There's like a what dietitians use, like almost like a 10, 13, 15 rule. Times your body weight by 10. Like don't ever go lower than 10 times your body weight, which is in calories. So if you're like, I mean you shouldn't, I mean if you go lower, it's gonna be a little less optimal. 13 is basically like, pretty much a lower, deficit. Then 15 is like almost like maintenance but still a deficit. So like put it this way, if I where's my calculator at? Do I have a calculator? I have the phone with the calculator. So where's my boy at who just my buddy on there who's asked how many calories? How many calories? Loco jalapeno. What's your weight? Find your maintenance. Okay, yeah. What's your weight? I'll give you an easy one. Here's a really easy one actually for you, buddy. Where you at, Loco? What I normally do is like take your body weight times. So basically, put it this way: carbs and protein, right, are four for 4 grams, whatever, and then fats 9, right? So what I basically do is, okay, 170 pounds. So let's take 170 pounds, right? You are So you're 170 pounds, and we'll say carbs and protein are both 4 calories per 1 gram. So let's just do a 1-to-1 ratio of carbs and protein. So we'll go 1-to-1 ratio of carbs and protein, which would be 170 grams of carbs, 170 grams of protein. So we'll go times that by 2, right? That gives you, right, your grams of carbs, grams of protein, right? And then we'll go times it by 4 because that's how many calories are per gram, right? Times 4, and you're gonna get 1360. Right? Remember that number. So we got 1360, right? And then since fats basically double protein and carbs, we're gonna go your fat, and it's a kind of good way to kind of keep your fats in your diet. Should be around like I would say half your body weight almost if you try that. So half your body because whatever because your fats double the carbs. So we'll go 170 divided by 2 equals 85. 85 grams of protein times that of fat times that by 9, you get 765. Add that to the 1360 and you have 2125. So we have 2125 calories right there, buddy. So do that. Now, if I did the 10, 13, 15, so you got 2125. If I did your body weight times 15, you're gonna get 2500, right? So if you do like your maintenance would probably be around, it's an estimate, but kind of be around that. You could try that out. Basically, you're doing your carbs and protein 1-to-1 ratio per body weight and for body weight. And then you're doing half your calories, half your fats and calories like that, and that's what gives you the 2120. So something like that. Try that one. Johnny, you smuggler. Why am I smuggler? I don't understand. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go to the top. Reading down. How are you doing? I'm doing all right, man. Things are like you want to be open, honest with you guys, and be really honest, with you guys. So here's my life, and this is how where things work. Right now, we just went on lockdown for another 4 weeks. Well, they put us on lockdown for 4 weeks. They said then within that 4 weeks they said we're gonna make restrictions even harsher. So we can't gyms are open and everything else like that. Basically everything's closed except for the essential things. And then And then on top of that, they said indefinitely. So I have a my family at home is my family's all not from here. So all my family's that in Ontario. My father is in stage 6 dementia. My mother basically has a torn shoulder trying to help him out. My mom's 78. My dad's 82. So right now I can't go see my parents right now. So that's like what's going on in my daily life right now. But we find a way to keep going, man, because we're all in this. We're all basically dealing with a lot of this at the same time. We're all experiencing this, you know, individually, but we're all going through some pretty tough things. So I my heart and goes out to everyone out there because I understand what it's like to not be able to go see my mom, my dad right now, and whatnot. So it's tough. You know what I mean? Damn, it's dude. Do not feel sorry for me whatsoever, man. That is my reality. My mom and my dad, they have basically raised me in a way for me to understand that. So that's totally fine, guys. This, things happen. We gotta live on. We gotta move on, right? Um, but for you guys out there who are dealing with something, man, I suggest you guys, just talk about it, talk to other people, make sure you guys are getting things out, and don't leave everything kind of balled up. Express how you feel. That's the biggest thing for us right now to help us with going through all this stuff. MC, Johnny squats, deadlifts, all compound lifts going up. Expect bench press, except bench press. Had an old basketball shoulder injury. Any advice? I had a shoulder injury too. Unfortunately, man, when you hurt your shoulder, it's like it just doesn't get back. It never goes back to normal. Um, my advice is just really work on your range of motion. Doing some shoulder mobility exercise for sure. Doing stuff to strengthen your teres minor, major, to make sure you can keep your shoulders, depressed. Doing shoulder cars, circular articular rotations. Basically come up like this in the morning. If I had to give you like 2 things to do right when you get out of bed, do articular rotations, basically like this, and then flip that thumb to the outside, and then continue to push it back without trying to roll back like this. Do that about 3 sets of 5 rotations from each arm, and then do overhead passes with, like, if you have like if you have like a broomstick or something that you can pass with your arms, basically not bending at the elbows like that. That'll help you out. Just kind of keep that healthy shoulder going as much as you can. Try that. Let's see. Let's keep going here. Back calories, cool. My Fitness Pal's pretty good. It's just you gotta be careful because it's gonna overestimate some of your BMI and whatnot. So just gotta be careful with that stuff. Quick. I have a really quick question. Okay, but you didn't ask it yet, Eduardo. Here's Johnny. Blah blah blah. It didn't. Message me. What's it? Scroggin Snapshot. Please direct message me or email me at hardcore.training02@gmail.com. I have a question. How do you get so handsome? How do you get to be handsome? As my mama. My mom, I think. Thanks. What's your best snack to eat while driving? What's your best snack to eat while driving? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't really have that many snacks to eat while driving at all. I never thought of that. A shake? I don't know. Let's keep going up here. Johnny, you see the new Jeffrey video? Jeffrey Nippard commented and posted it. Jeffrey's not telling the whole story. He sneaks in the way, wanted my passport to get the book and left out. He's in China. Guys, let me this is why I love live, because I encourage a lot of YouTubers to come on here and be their authentic selves. It's easy to go on and do a video and edit everything else and then be like, yeah, and then, but it's another thing to come on here and say, hey, what's up, this is me, and give I'll be kind of honest. My video I put up this morning that I put up about Jeff, I think I lost about, I don't know, I think about 20 to 30, I think, maybe. No, yeah, 20 subs I lost for sure for the video. And it's simply because people actually don't watch the video, right? They go and they know there's some beef with Greg and whatever, and then instead of watching my video, they just see they see the thumbnail and they comment. So a lot of you guys understand that when you're actually making videos, the biggest thing to make a video successful is the thumbnail and then your intro. So your thumbnail's got to be like bang out, get you sucked in, and then your intro has to be something that'll hook you on there to keep you staying there long enough for it to be monetized in a sense. There is your tricks of the trade and how everybody does their videos, right? The only problem is that sometimes the thumbnail says everything you need to say for you to actually like, comment. So no one really watches the video. So a majority of the comments on my video aren't even about the fact that the video is on his forum. And the funny thing is like, if you guys look at my Instagram or my story, I actually, I've been talking to dude, all right, I talked to him, and then like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I critiqued his form. Everything else with the Greg stuff, that's another story on top of that, but not even on top of it, separate. Here's a form, here's what I critique. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, I critique form. I said it to himself in my, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure Greg will do a response because, everyone has a really good way on YouTube to make themselves look to be something different when they're editing. I'm not speaking for any, and I'm speaking in generalities. For myself, I am my true authentic self. Literally, I am this person every single day. So, you know what I mean? So it's like, we have to just, it's just better if we just like, just be our actual selves and actually stick to what's there. And just, why not just, say what's actually going on? I have no reason to lie on here at all. Like, I don't. I have zero reason to lie. And you guys are new subscribers or old or whatever else, you guys, I don't have a reason to hide anything whatsoever. That's why I go on here and do this, because I can't edit myself. So whatever comes out of my mouth, it's like, shit, I can't take it back. It's live. I have no problem with that. But, that's the thing. When you have to be very careful when people put something on that's it's edited for a reason, guys. Just like TV, just like news. It's done for a reason to have you see the story that we want you to see. You know what I mean? Let's keep going up here. I want to get off topic too much. Man, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, guys. There's so many comments. You guys are the best. P.S. What's your opinion on the 5x5 format, 5 times 5 reps? I think that's good, depending on it's everything. There's so many, like, first things first, guys. I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I started bodybuilding after. Okay, I've been the strength and conditioning coach first, and then bodybuilding, and then I was like, cool, transformations and that. When it comes to like, different kind of training methodologies and whatnot, everything makes sense for the person's, goals, right? So 5x5 is not bad. I used to train 5x5 for certain things, and the strength blocks for sure. Those things make sense. If I do a 5x5, that's for me to have more of the strength block. I'm not trying to do a 5x5 I'm trying to build more muscle in a sense, And if I have a 5x5. Say, let's put it this way. Let's just say I do I do legs, and I'm doing hamstrings, and my hamstring day I have sumos in there, and I'm gonna do 5x5 with sumos and go pretty heavy, hit the CNS hard, and then the rest of my workouts are very hypertrophy based. It's that you can combine those things in your training plans. They don't have to be, hypertrophy only or whatever. Then only 5x5 here, and then it's like I feel like some people think we have to segregate different types of training within your own plan. You don't. You know what I mean? So I think we don't really give our body enough credit to how unbelievably adaptable it is. So adaptable? Is that even a fucking word? Adaptive? See, you can't edit that shit, right? And I make words up sometimes, guys. Why does it seem that the majority of the people interested in fitness don't have the patience to reach their genetic limit before hopping on PDs? Man, these are fucking dope questions. Because we're impatient. Impatience. We are in especially now. So I got to grow up. I saw my mom yesterday, pretty cool. I saw my mom yesterday about the generation gap that she's had, having me and my brother being, she's 78 and she's 40 years old. But the generation gap that happened with us, we were able to grow up in an era where we got to see the progression of technology, especially when it comes to the World Wide Web. That's how you know old when I say World Wide Web. But the thing is that, what was I saying? Holy shit. Once that happened, it's like people start to see things like happen like this. They see someone turn pro like this, or they see someone get to the goal. So everyone wants this instant gratification, and they don't want to wait for that. I waited till I was 28. really to get into it. And I was able to kind of top my genetic limit out, but I kind of had to because I was playing in a league, college ball, and you get tested. So I basically had no choice. But in the sense, people are just impatient and they don't want to wait to tap the genetic limit out. Well, I mean, like, you can't blame some people, but still, like, that's basically why. Does test make you a better thinker, an entrepreneur? I don't know. I, no, I don't think so. Extra testosterone? No, no. You have to. That's something you gotta keep training this thing. That gives you a better business person. It does help the look. That's the only thing I can say, but not gonna help you another part. But why did Greg take down Jeffy Verity's school video? You will find out soon enough. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you'll find out. I'm gonna stop answering stuff for both these guys. Okay. I used a little bit of drama to put out a video for people to see what not to do because, like I said, in a lot of videos I do, I need you guys to be able to trust me. I need to be able to put out a video that says, do it this way. This is how it's supposed to be done. And I need to show a video that shows you how it's not supposed to be done. And then in the mix of all that, I do workouts myself to show you exactly how it's done as best as I can. I'm not saying my form's perfect, but I'm striving for it to be, and it has to be because I have, like I said, deteriorating spine, so I have to. Did you watch? Heck yeah, I watch cartoons. I still watch cartoons. Are you kidding me? Um, let's go, Johnny. Have you tried Olympic weightlifting moves? Yes, I have. I did that before all the time. Actually, that's what I started off. I did some Olympic lifting camps out when I was out west for a bit. There's one out there. Then I've been and I coached him too when I was at the World Gym. I was a head coach there, and not anymore. But anyway, but yeah, 100%. Do I do them anymore? No, because since I decided to be a bodybuilder, I lost a lot of that range of motion in my shoulders from having too much goddamn mass. So when I'm trying to do snatches, the range of motion isn't that sweet, right? So, but I am, trust me on that, I will be definitely, I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to keep continuing bodybuilding the way things are going because being candy can't, but I've already thought about what I want to do after bodybuilding. That's definitely downside so I can get back to doing those lifts that I love to do. I love doing Olympic lifts. It's so good. Um, why do most bodybuilders follow a bro split while science shows that it's better to train each body part twice a week? Because it's bodybuilding. Bodybuilders do steroids. Just being honest. The being it you use the PEDs, they bridge the gap in a lot of things, right? So they defy science in a sense. What science says you should or shouldn't be able to do, steroids, SARMs, whatever, will basically go past that. It's like you're basically for the hard gainer, you shouldn't be able to gain a certain amount of weight because being a hard gainer or an ectomorph or whatever, not gonna be able to gain weight. That's what science says. And then all of a sudden you take steroids and you say, screw you science, here's another extra 20 pounds. Like, you know what I mean? Phil Heath was a basketball player, 5'9", 180-pound basketball player in D1, played for Denver. Okay. Now he's 7-time Miss Olympia. And I think it was like 250, 260, 250 peeled on stage, right? Defying science, right? Why can't I find science athletes that make considerable gains without juice? Because it's a patient thing. And like I said, when you use juice, guys, it's like it's black and white. It's night and day difference. Honestly, like when it comes to someone making like goals, and I'm being completely honest with this. Big Dog, when are you coming on the podcast? Whenever you let's do this. This is my boy. Is it Emmett? Is that you, Emmett? Let's do it. 100%. I'm on it. But like I said, like if you put it this way, January, two athletes. January decide, the new me, new you, and new year, new you, whatever. And one says, I want to gain the most amount of weight, most amount of muscle this year, natural. The other person says, I want to gain the most amount of weight, that muscle this year, not natural. This person, they eat the exact same diet, same amount of calories, everything else. The user will put on 100%. 20 pounds easily in a year. That's like lowballing it. The hard gainer hopefully might put on 10 pounds in a year. Um, wait, that's my boy. Let me call him back. Um, but yeah, I mean that's the thing. It bridges the gap, and that's why you don't see consider those people. You know, and so most I think most people are science based. I'm assuming that are more on the natural side. I think I can be just completely that's complete speculation. I got a message here. I want to see. Anyway, I'll read that after. Do you think it's possible to reach your genetic limit naturally if you have started? Yeah, because if you haven't reached it yet, you haven't those things you haven't tapped yet. You know what I'm saying? Like if I never trained before and I'm now 30 years old, it's not like I missed that ability. It's not like my genetic limit is in the 20s. There is so many athletes that I coach right now. When I say athlete guys, I call all my clients athletes. I believe that once you start actually training consciously, you turn into an athlete. My thing was turning average into athlete. You know what I mean? So yeah, where are we going back here with this? But yeah, it's not like I missed the boat because I didn't train when I was 20. There's so many athletes that I have that are older that are making unbelievable gains, and what natural and enhanced. It's 100%. It's not like you like, oh, I didn't work out when I was in my 20s. Now I'm screwed. I can't make any. I can't build muscle anymore. That's completely false. You know what I mean? So yes, you can 100% hit your genetic limit when you're in your 30s if you just started training. Johnny, I think he meant this, if test gives him more confidence to become a, yeah, basically. In your video, how hard to train, you said you should always give 100% effort. Does that mean no effort case? Yes, good question, guys. Effort is like giving your all, giving your maximum effort means if you wake up and you're dead tired, the most like you're not going to give everything you got. You're just going to just maybe just go through the motions. You give everything you got with the energy that you have, with the output you can give. It doesn't mean go balls to the wall every time and just smash it. No, it means give every effort. I don't go balls to the wall every single set. There's reasons why I do and reasons why I don't. But for the main part, it's understanding you know, how to focus that effort into a rep to set environment all the time, right? It doesn't mean like put 100% effort in means I need to go RPE 10 every single time. You just don't. You know what I mean? You don't have to, and it's not required for you to build muscle either, right? So when it comes to effort, I think effort more so is like talking about the quality of the set, right? Putting your all into it, not like when you have that bit of energy or whatever it's there, you put it all into that set. If you have one more rep and say your RPE is going to be maybe a 7, that means that seventh rep you put 100% effort into those 7 reps, right? Um, if that makes sense, guys. Hi, John. I love your content, fellas. Awesome. Would love to see your tutorial on posing. I'm doing that 100% too, guys. And cooking is coming up next week, guys. I got the cooking channels coming out 100%. Chef Boyer Shreve, get ready for that one. It's gonna be fun. I think I do intake a gram of protein per pound of body weight. How can I compensate for the lack of protein? I think I don't intake a gram of protein. You don't have to have a gram per gram. If you don't, I'll just put that out there. You don't have to. It's 1-to-1 is easy, but if you can't get that protein in, you can supplement it with like protein shake. You know what I mean? Like if you can't get in those solid foods, you can get a protein. That's why shakes are made. Um, I do not see my abs without the proper lighting and without flexing, but I can see the flex in the proper lighting. Is it still high body fat? Lighting is going to bring out what's actually there, right? Yes, it's going to manipulate what the contrast and whatnot, but that's what it's like. When people like have lighting, like, oh man, you're cheating, you have good lighting, it shows whatever. It's like, well, if you didn't have abs, the lighting wouldn't show it to begin with. But if it's hard to see in certain lightings and all lightings, then your body fat might be a little higher than you want it to be. So get on that stepper or stairmaster or go and walk or do something. Um, I'm a hard gainer and struggle to eat and need to gain. Is there a better method to force feeding? For all you hard gainers out there, hard gainers that don't want to go to the PEDUs, you will have to eat into a surplus, but you don't have to eat in like a high surplus. But the thing is that you have to give your body enough time to be in an environment for it to adapt, and that's a big problem with most people when it comes to change their physique or whatever. It's just that they're not putting themselves in that environment long enough for their body to really go through that adaptation. So for someone who is a hard gainer, and say it's hard to eat that 100 extra calories, just make an example. I'm a hard gainer and I can't eat that 100 extra calories I need to get in. Well, start eating 50 extra, and then your body will adapt to it's like, hey man, like 50 is pretty easy. Let's bump it up. It's a progressive overload thing when it comes to food as well too, for those who are hard gainers, right? So, don't force feed yourself. Um, you know what I mean? So yeah, progressive overload your life is in all things, even food, right? So but progressive overload. Don't just, you don't just throw on 100 extra pounds when you're on bench. You progressive overload. I'm trying to get these questions fast because these are coming in. Um, Lower weight and slow reps. Slow down your reps. I think someone answered the question. Your personal favorite form of cardio. I like the stepper. I love like the stepper, this one, not the stairmaster stepper. I can sit on that thing all day long. I think it's fun to me because I can I can dance actually. Um, and I'm a musician, so I have rhythm. So I'll put on like house music, and I'll literally step one, two, and I'll step to the 2, 4. I'll step higher, lower. I'll step to the beat, slow it down. This kind of gets me through cardio pretty easy. And it's I like doing it for some. Favorite Coach Greg's recipe. What's my favorite? The protein sickles. No, sorry, the protein. Yeah, protein sickles. They had like these little protein, frozen protein bites that he makes. We dummied those a couple weeks ago. Man, they're legitimately one of my favorite things and easiest thing to make. They're really good, actually. Um, I discussed cardio with Olympian gold medalist, and our shared opinion was full body is best. Oh yeah, for sure. The best form of cardio is 100% full body, 100%. Like, I do really enjoy using a concept two rower. Awesome. Something like a air assault bike. Anything where you're moving, your whole body is moving is the best form of cardio for sure. Optimal, 100%. I'm not even going to argue that. Um, is a good stomach vacuum due to muscles of several muscles working in unison? A good your good vacuum is by good core control, being able to engage your TVA. So like, let me give you like basically from here and being able to, and that's just from actually like that's from engaging your core. That's why I tell a lot of people to really work on engaging their core. It's not so you can just look good. It's so I can really like from here. We want to be able to pull in here right when we're lifting. So when I'm actually talking right now, I literally sit like this all day long. So my stomach doesn't go out and in, right? So a vacuum from here, it's this muscle. I'm not gonna name muscle, but here, push this muscle down and then be able to suck in, right? So yes, a lot of muscles are involved in that. Practice, we can go over that some other time. Favorite bodybuilder, Will Bonack and Ronnie Coleman. Um, what do you think about full body workouts? I feel less sore and go heavier. It, Full body workouts are great. All those full body workouts are phenomenal when they're programmed properly, right? You don't have to, like, people get stuck in having to split your body up and whatnot. You can do a full body workout, but it has to, intertwine with your goals. Like it has to make sense. If you're doing a full body workout and you're trying to put on the most amount of muscle, then it's probably not the best kind of workout to do, if that makes sense. 130 grams is enough for 100. Yes, 100% it is. 100%. The most optimal is 1 gram per body weight. 100%. Um, yeah, this guy knows what's up. Daniel, good shit, buddy. You guys are popping the question. What do you think of the seated ab machine? Does it work? Any cues or tips? Are you talking about the seated ab machine where you're kind of like doing this kind of thing? I think it's there's a couple of machines where you sit in it and you can pull over and your legs move too. I think Hoist has a really good machine like that. I think they're good. It's just like when you're doing any kind of ab movement, any kind of ab exercise, people don't really pay attention to their breathing. So if I'm like, you got to think whenever you're like, say you're like, you're flexing here, like even when I'm doing this, I'm actually squeezing in my core to do this. So when it comes to, ab training, it's the same thing. Breathing out while you get tight. So when we're doing posing or coaching, if I go right and I again and then I again and then I'm constantly getting it tight. So when I'm actually doing an actual, core exercise, a core movement, I'm breathing every contraction to make that more, make it a more optimal contraction. Um, how do you think a new personal trainer could find online clients during a time where everyone's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok? Fuck. But that's the best way. You got to put yourself out there. If you don't, the good thing, I can't say the good thing about this is that people realize that they can't really trust having a membership anymore because your gym can just go boom, boom, and you're done, right? So a lot of people now are buying home gym stuff. They know that they might get shut down one day, so a lot of people are at home they would rather be at home. So knowing that there's a lot of people out there that would rather much more train in their house. So if you put that out there, on social media that you're training this and that, and then go with some friends or whatever, you'll start to see a little bit of traction that way. The best thing to get clients is go to people you know first. Go to them first, and then start the referral thing. Get a couple clients that that you can really build your business around, and then referrals is the biggest thing. Referrals. I hardly ever promoted my business until really I started pushing my YouTube more, and it's and that's what you have to do, right? um but you got to wait by buying a home gym now because prices easily doubled. Yeah. Yeah, buying weights is a bitch. Really though. Johnny, in your opinion, what is the best way to optimize muscle growth? Being consistent and those basic things like, training your muscles maybe 10 to 16 sets, hard sets a week. Doesn't have to be exactly 16, but that, time and attention, proper nutrition, and then being consistent. The biggest thing is consistency. Like I said, if you want your body to adapt, you have to put it in an environment long enough for it to adapt. So that's why, training blocks are good, but you need to continue those training blocks or those, strength blocks or whatever, right? Are flies as dangerous as Athlete's Sex says? They are if you do them wrong, right? So I don't know if I got to go over this fly thing, but when it comes to doing flies, I'll tell you guys again, just easy one here. I can flex my chest right here. I can flex my chest out here. My hands are going out here. I can still flex my chest, right? As soon as I put my hands below or behind my chest, it's hard for me to flex my chest and I will have to see my shoulders moving now. The second I just do this, right, it's just that little thing from moving from here. So the problem with people doing flies is they end up going like this, or way back here, this big stretch. And right now my chest really can't do much anymore. The second I do this, I can get a better stretch from here and press through. So it is dangerous if you do it wrong, if you go too, if you extend too much and then you're putting way too much pressure on your chest and on your shoulder, and then making it very vulnerable for your chest in that position. Y'all are on it today. Hey Johnny, what's your instrument? I'm a guitar player. Let's go. Yo, check this out. Let's go right now. My instrument is my piano. So, I play piano. How do you know you start bulking? Don't take the word bulking out. More so put like the word like gaining lean muscle tissue. When you know you should start bulking, it depends. If you're like, what are your goals? If your goal is to put on more muscle, then you're gonna have to start, maybe increasing your calories depending on your whole body fat percentage. It's a big difference. So you have to understand that. If you're thick, if you have excessive amount of fat already, or your body fat percentage is already high, you don't need to bulk. You already have enough of water and fat there to build muscle, right? No? I forgot the song. But, or... There you go. Mountain Dog says in order to in a video or no bulk. Yeah, that makes complete sense. You gotta understand, like right now, even like I don't need to bulk to put on more. I think my body fat might be like, I don't know, I would say maybe 14, maybe. Even for that, I don't need to bulk. If you're, like I said, 16%, and you don't need to, because you're just gonna put on excess fat, right? Marcus Rule. Yeah, the old school bodybuilders promote bulking, right? It was very common to just get as big as heck and then lose a bunch of weight, just back and forth, yo-yoing, and it's not the healthiest thing ever. So I really don't recommend that at all. How can I get an autograph of you and Greg, or just you? I've been trying for a while. Yo, my bad, guys. Honestly, if you guys want, this is weird for me. Like, as much as I understand that I am a professional bodybuilder and all this stuff, it's still kind of like awkward. Feel something like, hey, can I have your autograph? Even though I did when I was, when you go to Olympia and we have booths with the, but yeah, definitely. Long story short, if you guys want like signed stuff, whatever it is, I'm totally cool with that. I'm not gonna charge you. I think it's stupid. But message me, inbox me, hardcore.training02@gmail.com, and we'll figure something out. I got some stuff I can sign, pictures and stuff, but I definitely need to get some new ones. But anyway, I'm up on, let's see. Do you rack? I do rack deads for sure. I like doing rack deads instead of doing conventional. Again, my back isn't the best in that position when it comes to I just try not to be in that conventional deadlift position from the floor as often as possible. I try not to be, just because I'm vulnerable there. Sumos are better for me, so when I do rack deads are so much better for me. And for anybody who just wants to really, strengthen their erectors, their lats, that whole posterior chain hinging properly, it's an amazing exercise. How to eat properly and not have an obsession with food. That is a lot of those things are just, it's this thing here, being in control and understanding, your goals. Like, you have to understand that if you have a certain goal, that means that everything you do, you eat, you think, you drink, whatever, should be aligned with your goals. Period. That makes any sense. So, how do you eat? How do you enjoy your food without being obsessive with it or being under control? Just understand how much you should be eating, the calories you're eating, and eat within that caloric intake, right? And and that takes self-control. Yeah, it's totally fine, man. Foods. We've been raised to really enjoy food. Everything we do is food is a very celebratory thing. Merch is coming out soon, guys. I've been waiting because of all this stuff that's going on. It's really slowing things down here with the current. So sweaters, hoodies, and tanks will be out. We have them in the little cartoon of me that my guy did. So we'll have those out coming out soon, guys. Trust me, stand on me. It'll be great. That's a hard one. Lee Priest's arms or Tom Platt's legs. Ooh. Well, I mean, arms don't win shows, but you can't have twigs with Platt's legs were dope. That's a good one, man. It's a good one. I'm gonna be reviewing some of that guy's stuff too. So, someone gave me an idea to coaching up some of the bodybuilders. I will be doing that for sure. That's fun stuff. Cookbooks. Yeah. Use my code Johnny15 for Power 13. It's a good cookbook. What did you do for a living before bodybuilding and a strong lift up? And strong lifts 5x5, yeah or nay? Strong lifts, yes. Add the 5x5s in there, guys. There's ain't no problem with that at all. If you're doing something that's more hypertrophy based, whatever, and you want to throw in some 5x5s, 3x3s, go ahead and do those things. Just be smart about it. It just, if it doesn't make sense to your goals, then don't worry about it. Um, you know, I try to stay away from lifting in those little small brackets because, again, you know, lifting that low you know, reps means you're going to be lifting a lot more weight, which will put you in more, you know, possibility of being injured. So make sure your form is tight, make sure you're well prepped and warmed up before doing those things, and just be smart about it, right? You're not a powerlifter, so don't try and break world records. You know what I'm saying? Really, the only difference is that you're likely higher reps hypertrophy, but you'll still need to get stronger for sure. Anything over 5 reps is cardio for me. All right, man. Well, if you say so. You don't call it bulking, but any calories surplus, which you need. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's just the verbiage itself. You know what I mean? Like bulking. You just think, oh, bulk, bulk. I like saying, let's get a surplus to add lean muscle tissue. We want to add some lean muscle tissue. Bulking to me sounds like, you know, bulk. Bulk is like, there's nothing aesthetic about bulk to me. You know what I'm saying? And most of you guys are aspiring to be aesthetic. Let's be serious. That's why we're doing this thing, right? We're not trained to not look good, right? Do you stretch after the gym session? 100%. I stretch after and I do warm up before. And I recommend if you're not doing it, to do it. And a lot of people I know that do not stretch before or after. What do you know? What do you do when you want to add size and stay lean? Just so we'll go back to this. So if like, let's say you're 16% body fat or higher, you eat that maintenance level, the amount of body fat you have will be enough to be used to add muscle while your caloric intake is at a maintenance. And then eventually your body fat does this and your lean muscle tissue does this, and then you're at that good point, and then at that point you can decide whether or not you want to add a little more, but you want to make sure you're getting your body fat down while you're kind of pulling that muscle up, if that makes sense. Greg Doucette is done for. Okay, Justin. What do you think of exercise used in gymnastics? What do you think of exercise used by gymnasts? Is that someone I'm coaching? Because I coach a bunch of gymnasts. What do I think? I think it's phenomenal. It has to be specific. So I've coached, and I'm currently coaching a gymnast. If you guys know Erica, she's an amazing gymnast. So, but a lot of things when coaching her, it has to be specific to make sure that we're not, you know, getting too muscular where she loses that range of motion. She's still an athlete, so you have to be smart about those things. So when it comes to a couple things, when we're doing pull downs, I always say make sure our lats are depressed. But if we're doing handstands, we want to be pushing through. So for her, she is letting her shoulders, you know, elevate and then depress. So she keeps that range of motion or that pathway clean for her. So if that makes any sense, body count. I don't know what that means. Is RMR testing a waste of time? Your rested metabolic rate testing? I don't. Is that what? That's the only RMR that I know. So clarify that for me. Chris Barnett here on YouTube is a great example of bulking without. Yeah, man. Like, yes, it was a really good. If you're any powerlifter out there that's looking at like, yeah, you don't have to be fat. Look, Dan Green is one of my favorite powerlifters. The guy who looks like he can do a bodybuilding show whenever he wants. Like, you don't have to get big. And I'm not knocking the guys who did get big to do it. I understand that there's a means to an end, right? There's a necessary evil for a lot of things. I don't, you know, harp on someone for doing a certain thing. I don't really care what most people do, to be honest. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, I'm totally fine. That's why I get so pissed off about bad form, because eventually you can hurt somebody. Clark Dev, let me see. Sorry. What do you think about 5-3-1 training? Did someone ask me that? For a main part movement followed by a volume hypertrophy training for the following movements for that day. What I think about, like, it's like people ask me all the time, what do I think about, you know, whatever. As long as it's based around your goals and getting you to your goals, right? So for me, I wouldn't train 5-3-1 because it's not pertains to my goals. but my opinion is somebody else's. I'll do a little more research on that. I remember doing 531 a long time ago during ball. Like, that's over a decade ago. Old as fuck. How much time on eccentric and concentric when you talk about time retention? The kind of rule of thumb is almost like a 3010. It's almost like you want your negative to be 2 times slower than your positive, but your positive sometimes is very overlooked as well too. So sometimes we miss we have a misunderstanding. We miss the boat on how much we can actually help with muscle gain from having a good concentric as well too. So even doing like a 2 seconds down and 2 seconds up, that's almost like a true hypertrophy, and that's like hard as hell. Most people can do that and don't do it because honestly, people counting 1001, 1002, 1003, or whatever, to most people is boring. They want to just get it out, get it done, get it over with. You know what I mean? So, did you hear about what happened to Mount Maron? No. Hey Johnny, can you do as much cardio? Hey Johnny, can you do as much cardio as you want and still get the same gains, so long as you train hard and eat sufficient? Yeah. At that point, it's just a calorie balance. It's just an energy balance. It's all it is balancing energy, right? If I'm trying to gain a bunch of muscle and I want to do a lot of cardio, well, I got to make sure I'm eating more food for the cardio I'm doing. But if I'm trying to gain a lot of muscle and I'm doing too much cardio, then you got to ask yourself, why are you doing so much cardio in the first place? Are we doing cardio to compensate for eating a lot of food? So you have to really work on that balance, that energy balance, and not try to compensate or, you know, most people like, I had a cheat meal, so I'm gonna do more cardio. It's like, no, don't do that, right? Don't try to erase certain things with cardio. So if you're trying to gain muscle, do it as optimal as possible by, having a good diet, training properly, and then making sure your cardio is at a level where you're not. Yeah, the more cardio you do, the more stress you're gonna give your body in the first place, right? So you can, in retrospect, but at the same time, is it optimal? No. Hey Johnny, is cardio ideal if you are trying to build muscle, or is it just an accessory? No, cardio is good to do because number one, cardio is this thing here. You want to keep this thing. So more muscle you put on. Put it this way: your body doesn't want no one here. Let's make this thing clear for a lot of people. Your body does not want more muscle than it already has. It doesn't. That's why hard gainers are hard gainers. That's why certain people can gain a certain amount of weight. It's your body's ability, your heart's ability to pump out energy. Basically, your heart doesn't want to put on more muscle because the more muscle you have, the more work it has to do, right? So doing cardio is just gonna help strengthen your heart because it has to work harder, right? So you want to give your body that cardio is really good. Excessive cardio will definitely, like contradict your muscle gain. Excessive cardio, right? So doing cardio is going to do to keep your fat levels down, but not a lot of cardio. Like I'm doing about 20 minutes a day of cardio, and that's just to really get my heart moving. I love waking my day up that way, and it gives me overall more endurance, right? And I'm a bigger guy. I'm 250 pounds, so I know my body doesn't want to be 250 pounds. So I want to make sure that my heart is healthy by doing cardio, right? Hey John, so understand correctly, if you reach your preferred amount of body fat, you just have to eat at maintenance and train more and get more size. Yeah, and then again, once you say you're boom, 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 you get down, now you're at maintenance, and like, okay, cool, you got the desired muscle or look that you want, but you want more muscle, then we gotta put this up a little bit, and then this goes this, and we doing this, right? But we don't want to go like this and be like, boom, here's a bunch of fat, and then we got shit, we gotta go back down this way. We want to kind of like do this kind of thing. Now again, that's only going to be based on if your body can actually do that in sense of like gaining more muscle. So once you get to that your genetic limit, you have to be able to put on that much more, right? And it gets harder to put on more muscle the closer you get to that genetic limit, if it makes sense. Importance to drop sets. Important drop sets. Listen, drop sets, supersets, rest pause, giant sets. All those things are all different ways to exhaust the muscle. There's 1,000 ways to pet a cat. I don't want to say the other one because I might get canceled. But like I said, there's 1,000. Like those are just different tools to bring yourself to exhaustion, right? To exhaust the muscle or bring that muscle to failure. Those are really good to do. How important are they? I wouldn't say they're extremely important for you to build muscle, but they're just another tool for you to use to get yourself to that point, right? And again, it brings some extra flavor to your training. It trust me, after a while, yeah, it gets freaking boring just doing the same reps, right? Adding those drop sets, supersets, giant sets, rest, pause reps, clusters, all those things will help bring your muscles to failure to build more muscle. Can you still maximize gains on a deficit? To a point, right? Now to say the opposite of what Mountain Dog said about being at 60%, not bulking at 60%. You can still add some good muscle being at 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, but the lower your body fat gets, the harder it will be for you to put on more muscle, if that makes sense. That mobility video is coming up, man. I gotta work on my mobility before I put that video up, man. I'm just joking. That's coming up, guys. We had a nice little team sit down last week with my editors and the stuff that we want to do, and that's gonna be out there. We're gonna make this like a legit channel. Not a legit channel, I don't say that, but I want to give you guys a heads up of what's coming out. So each day, Monday to Friday or whatever, you're gonna have like almost like a TV. You'll be able to see exactly what to expect. It's gonna be coming out week to week to week to week. So that will be there. And yes, I will be trying to collab with some of these guys. At the moment, I can't fucking go anywhere. That's what sucks. And I'm from Ontario, and I can't even go to Ontario. And where's Will and Chris? They're in Ontario. So I've already think about that. Once I do, I am gonna get vaccinated. You guys can say what you want. I'm gonna get vaccinated. When I do, I'm just gonna make the trips, and I want to do a couple collaborations and stuff down in the States where you guys are at. So that's the only way I can basically do what I want to do. So J. Clark says heavy as possible. So for as many reps as possible. So like heavy 5 to 10 or 10 to 20. You could only put it this way. You could, like, if you're lifting 85% of your 1 rep max, you're not lifting freaking 10 to 20 damn reps, right? He's saying, and I want to do a video on him too, because he's got some really cool training stuff, and some of these older guys have just some really good like gems of knowledge, but need to be translated so people understand what they're talking about. 100%. Johnny, Johnny, I have a buddy you can collab with, and he be surprisingly picked from a fan. I call a. Okay, yeah, Nick Merkel, dope. Send him my way, man. I'd love to. That'd be sweet. I'll collab with anybody, man. If they're, if they put out good shit. How does someone increase their tests naturally? Food? Like good, like naturally comes like nutrition and micronutrients. A cool one for you, zinc for your dink. That's an actual like little thing for you to remember. My wife told me that when she was she did in university. That's like a little thing they kind of like to remember. If you want to put more muscle on, help naturally more zinc, right? Look in those natural test boosters. You'll see zinc as one of the ingredients in there. Should you train when you're sick? Nope. Do not train when you're sick. But don't sit around like you're sick either, right? Don't fall into the I'm sick. Oh, I'm sick. Tell yourself you're not sick, but make sure you're recovering, resting, drinking water. Don't go to the gym and think you're gonna work it out. When your body's sick, it needs to recover. So going to the gym and stressing it out is not gonna make it better. What's your payment on Fit Track scale? Scam. No, none of those scales. I've broken so many scales, like not like stepped on and broke it, but like literally like stick it on a scale and be like, F you, and smash it. It's like I'm half joking. But those, like, think about this, guys. Think about like the amount of data that these things apparently can give you, and how accurate they actually are, and how much you're paying. We had this thing at this last gym I was at. It was a lot of money, and I remember going there and debunking a lot, like just changing. It wasn't accurate. It was too BMI biased, and it was very height biased. So any of those scale things, they take your BMI in some parts of whatever the variables are they're using. Sometimes they over bias the height. Sometimes they over bias the age. So no, don't. Calipers, find somebody who can actually do caliper tests, and that would be probably the best thing to do it, right? What is my HRD dose? 150. Right now I'm actually 250. Before 150. Right now 250. I'm probably gonna lower it down because I thought I would just do master own and test. I was doing 250. I was doing 375 test a week every 5 days. I was doing 250 mass nth every 5 days, and I was like, in case things open up and I can do a show, I can just kind of blah blah blah, and it's not looking like that. So I'll probably just reduce it back to 150 and keep it there. I just burped on the fucking camera. Holy shit. Quick question. Am I losing out on potential benefits by performing the overhead press with a Smith machine and being seated? Thanks for the vid information. Are you losing out? No. Like you are losing out in that full overhead if you're using the back. But what I do in the Smith machine is I actually like doing it sitting on the ground or sitting on a bench without the back, right? And then you're forcing your body to do basically the same thing as if you were doing a standing overhead press, only you're taking out your lower body out of the equation. Now again, doing them seated without the back, it's actually a little harder because you don't have that little bit of that hip drive or that hinge you can do for the overhead press when the reps are getting hard. So I love doing it in the Smith machine and doing it without a back. So that's the best one to do. If you're using the back, yes, you will take away from the full benefits you get from that. Johnny, should I set up a super? You should set up a super chat YouTube so you can donate questions. Yeah, I mean, I would love that. That'd be sweet. Eventually. Why am I awesome? Thank you. 500 tests, 200 decade, okay for first cycle. Yeah. If you're telling me you're 18, no, I'm not saying get the fuck off that shit. But if you're like, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys to do the most optimal. 500 tests and 200 deca is, I would say, is pretty fair and a pretty very mild cycle. I would definitely add in a AI very often, maybe like every 3 days, Arimidex with that. Hi Johnny, no side effects from 250 milligrams. None at all. I found that the lower dose, to be honest, is obviously optimal because it's not a lot that higher, but I feel that your body, when you're at a lower dose, it gives your body a chance to work with the test at the same time rather than you just putting a bunch of tests and all of a sudden your body's like, shut it down, we don't need to do that test anymore, we got this synthetic test coming in. That's essentially basically what happens. Is that when you start taking tests, the higher the dose, the suppression increases a lot more the more you use, right? I keep doing this like that's how you do it. Like, Jesus Christ, please don't inject yourself like that. If you're in your first 2-3 years, is it better for purely getting bigger, putting on more muscle to lift in a lower rep range? Don't think so rep specific. People are very segregate reps. Should I do higher reps for high reps for this, or should I do low reps for this? Time and attention, just kind of follow those pretty basic cues. If you're doing like 75% of 1 rep max, think of a set being between 30-45 seconds. If you did 10 reps and you did 30 seconds, that means your 10 reps probably about 3 seconds a rep, right? If you did 15 reps in 45 seconds, you have about 3 second rep, right? So 10 to 15 reps in between 30, 45 seconds, you know what I mean? With 75% of your 1 rep max, that's sustainable. The higher you go in weight, the less time and attention is needed for stimulating muscle growth. That makes any sense. Let me say it one more time if you guys hear it loud and clear, okay? Train your body to optimal training, very basic information. 10 to 16 reps a week for one muscle group. That's like 2 times a week, right? And then your reps, 30 to 45 second reps, time or attention with good form. That's if the reps, the weight you're using, the load is around like 75% of your 1 rep max. The higher your weight goes, your percentage to your 1 rep max, the less time and attention is needed. So that means like guys are doing like,
You know, if you're doing 5 sets or 5 or 6 reps of a high of a 85% of your 1 rep max, you're gonna definitely stimulate muscle growth. There's no need to sit there, 1,001, 1,002, 1,000, snap. There goes your arms. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen, but yeah. Royce, what up? Yo, is going from 77 kilos to 84 kilos morning weight in 8 weeks gaining too fast? Um, uh, 10 pounds in how many weeks? 10 kilos? That's like 22 pounds. Almost 10 kilos. What, in the gain? I'm trying to say in 8 weeks. Oh, in 8 weeks. Woo! Well, I mean, I need to know what it looks like, right? If you're telling me it's all muscle in your hands, I'd be like, yeah, that's not a problem at all. There ain't no problem to gain that much muscle. But if you're gaining just weight, then maybe it depends on what the quality of the weight looks like. That's the kicker there, right? Remember, guys, if you guys want to actually do a phone consult, guys, check my last video or go to my website, johnny.shreve.net. You guys can book a phone consult, 15 to 30 minutes, 15 or 30 minutes. You can ask me absolutely everything. I'm not gonna say that I go over, but yeah, I do. I try to keep it down, but like me, it usually goes over because I ramble along like I do. See, I can literally talk for a fucking hour and not even think about it. Not edited. I don't see none of y'all freaking guys out there, you other YouTubers doing these. So just doing it for my peeps. I took 6 months to improve my bench. I don't see that before I go. It took me 6 months to improve my bench from nice. How do I start improving a bit quicker? Well, there's way too many other variables in there that I don't know in order to give that answer. But if you're natural, don't think quicker. Just think quality of how things go. Favorite exercise? Chest support, dumbbell rows. I love them. And sumos. Think about going to. Oh. Nice. Who's this? Oh, sometime Rad. I saw a Rad question here. I came off Rad and MK67 finally cut weight and was 70. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, but so put it this way. What does the weight look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you put on, like, can you see some abs and stuff? You know what I mean? If you put that on and you got no more abs anymore or definition, I feel like you should see your shoulder, bis, and tris, and a few abs. I think that's healthy enough in a sense. I started ride, and after 3 days, started getting itchy nipples. Got on started phase, stopped taking ride and took Novodex. So Gano developed, stopped. Should I take both at the same time? You're very sensitive, obviously, to gynecomastia, but for me, in some of my cycles, I do like to run Novodex in the cycle, 20 milligrams, the entire cycle. I have done it before, and I've found some good benefits from it too. Maybe Derek will say completely different. I don't know. I'd like to hear his opinion on that. I go say right now, Derek is way more knowledgeable in that department than I am, but I'm definitely way more knowledgeable than you guys in this department. For how many years you count as a beginner? A year. I don't honestly when I think like how long so many these terminology is so crazy to me. It's like if you start lifting and you're a good athlete and you are very easy at your motor control is great, you're really coordinated, and you are very easily coachable, and you start lifting with really good form and your body responds, you can do that within a year. I would say you're still a beginner. You're a beginner, I say, comes more so with what's in here and not necessarily how much you can do with this, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? The beginner stuff, I think beginner and advanced, and I've been working out for this many years. I know some beginners that have been beginners and they've been 10-year beginners because they haven't learned anything, right? So what's up here determines whether or not you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. The knowledge, not how much you can press or lift or whatever, right? That plays in advance, that plays in a part. But again, I know a lot of people who train really hard, lift a lot of weight, and still train like beginners, right? Okay, guys, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get off because I'm gonna finish up the rest of these check-ins, today's check-in day. But I want you guys to write all these questions down right now, guys. If you guys, all of these right that are here right now, I want you guys to put them in a question that I didn't answer, and we're gonna do a new Q&A all over again with these questions that I didn't get to. I'm sorry I didn't get to all the questions, guys, but I did just spend 65 damn minutes on here straight. Like, I didn't need a water break. I need some water. Anyway, quarantine was it 99 Ronnie Coleman, 98. The Ronnie Coleman that didn't have before stomach started coming 98, 100% 98. 98 Ronnie Coleman was foolish. Out quarantine and Knack, I was still in target form. Quarantine or I don't know. I don't know. I can't, I'm not gonna answer that question. I can't tell you. I didn't research that. I'm not a big fan about quarantine in the first place, to be honest. I'm just not. There's other things that are better, I believe. But I definitely gotta research that. See, I'm not scared to say I don't know either. That's what makes a good coach. So I'll say I do not know. Let me get back to you on that question and I'll answer that. I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all you guys for coming and listening and answering questions. I'm sorry I can't answer those questions. I gotta get back and do some work. But like I said, leave the questions in there, and we'll get those questions to you ASAP. Any experience? No, I've never and never will. Never. Sorry. Anyway, take care, guys. Iron sharpens iron. We have all been sharpened in this 65 minutes. I believe that 100% today, guys. Progressive overload your life. For all you guys out there who want to be really quick with things, take your damn time. Be patient with this shit. The shit will come. Keep G chasing, guys. Love you all. Peace.